How do you differentiate between like actions that are sincere when you're questioning in your mind versus like what your heart actually feels?
So if your heart is pulling you toward action, for example, it's like, man, you know what, I'm gonna go to the masjid, I'm gonna give sadaqah today. And you don't do it. You're like, oh, you know, you need to save your money for other things. You know what I mean? That happens. But that thought, and that feeling, and that drive that you had, what happens? You get rewarded by something. So getting into this positive mind frame and continuously wanting to do good deeds, one of two things can happen. Because like I can want to do 10 things, or I mean, let's say 100, right? It's probably more realistic. I want to do 100 things. How many of those things do I end up doing? Maybe just like a handful, right? Maybe I'll do a handful of them. The problem comes in is if my desire list keeps getting longer and longer, and my execution list, what happens? It keeps getting shorter and shorter, right? This is where now I have to recalibrate.
I was asking more about like, say you're doing like ritual acts, like say you're praying, and like you kind of deep down like want to impress people with your recitation or whatever.
Sure.
But like you constantly have to, you're reminding yourself in your mind like not to do that.
Okay. So in that situation, if I'm reminding myself, what have I done?
Question.
Right, you've questioned, and not just that. That is a sign of success for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? The moment that I challenge my nafs, right? Because that's exactly what I'm doing. It's like, okay, I'm praying, beautify your recitation because I should beautify my recitation, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is deserving and worthy of that. All right, what if people hear? Let them hear. And you know what I mean? And sometimes it'll be like, oh, people might think your voice is like, I want Allah to think my voice is nice. I want Allah to be pleased. You know what I mean? And that internal struggle is always going to be there. But just the fact that I'm having that internal struggle, that internal conversation, that is a sign of being blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.